We are going to discuss essential oils and our yoga practice today, specifically focusing in on the root chakra. So before we get too much into that, I'd like to talk a bit about essential oils and how they really can impact our emotions, and how beneficial they can be in your yoga or meditation practice. So I encourage you to go ahead and grab an essential oil if you have one, if you have any. So particularly because we're focusing on the root chakra today, if you have anything that is close to, or specifically if you have these oils, that's ideal. Anything that is going to really ground you. So some suggestions are basil, cedarwood, cilantro, myrrh, patchouli, vetiver, or white fir. The four oils that I have here today are patchouli, cedarwood, frankincense, and vetiver. They're my absolute favorites for grounding. And I've made myself this totally awesome root chakra roller, which I use when I'm working on my root chakra, and it's really helpful for meditation practice, really grounding down, and restorative practice as well, but really helpful for aligning and balancing out that root chakra, these essential oils in particular. So if you want to pause the video and go and get your oils and come on back, I will see you back in a minute. And we'll just carry on here. So I'm going to encourage you to open your bottle of oil if you have one. I hope that you do. And just have a deep inhale through the nose, and we're just going to take our time here, breathing deeply through the nose, and just consider what that experience is like for you. You might already notice the aroma just taking the cap off, actually. Breathing deeply here. One more deep inhale. So consider this. When oils are inhaled through our noses, they actually travel right up to the brain, and they're processed in the olfactory system. So pardon me while I refer to my notes, because I don't know this stuff off by heart, but it's really cool information. So the olfactory system is the system in our brain for controlling our sense of smell. What's really cool is that the olfactory system is connected to the limbic system in our brain. For those of you that are brain people, I'm not one of them, you're going to know how cool and significant this is. But for the rest of us who aren't brain wizards, the limbic system is the area of our brain involved with emotion, motivation, the regulation of memories and hormones. So that's pretty significant. It's actually considered the interface between emotional states and memories of physical stimuli. So just consider that. Consider the impact that scents have on our memory system. I'm sure that everyone can think of a time when they have recognized a smell and it has sent them on a trip down memory lane. Maybe for the good, maybe for the bad. But either way, there's no denying that scents can impact and trigger emotions for us. Now the cool thing is that we can kind of choose how we want to impact our emotional state through the use of essential oils. Essential oils are tiny aromatic compounds. They're teeny tiny little molecules, and like I had said, when we first opened our bottle of oil together, you probably already noticed the smell of the oil, especially if you're using a good quality essential oil, you would have noticed that scent before you even lift the bottle to your nose. So in fact, using oils aromatically is the quickest way to impact your emotional system. If you're dysregulating, if you're having a hard time, if you're having anxiety, and you want to impact your emotions immediately, smelling them is the number one quickest way to do that. So another cool fact, which is just mind-blowing, is if you were to consider one tiny drop of oil, this is a 15 ml bottle of oil, there's 250 drops in here. One singular drop of oil contains 40 million trillion molecules. Just think about that for a second. 40 million trillion molecules. That's a lot. That's crazy. So these compounds service every single cell in your body. Every single one. Wow. Very cool. So using essential oils is really awesome and key, in my opinion, to really covering your health on a broad spectrum. So emotional health, psychological health, physical health, mental health. All of those components are so important for your overall wellness, and using essential oils can actually impact every single level of your body. So every cell in there is very awesome. So essential oils support healthy cell function. They promote a physical and emotional detox. So let's talk a bit more about that. Nature was the first remedy that civilization had. And somewhere, some way, we were led astray. But we're circling back now, and we're really understanding the impact of these teeny weeny 40 million trillion aromatic compounds and how significantly they can impact our health and wellness. Using essential oils for emotional benefit dates back to ancient times. I mean, many of us or you people know that Egyptians used to bury essential oils in their tombs. So this is no kind of new age funk. This is the real deal. This is super cool. My fridge makes a super loud, annoying sound. Pardon me, fridge. Anyhow. So it wasn't until substantial amounts of research started to come out in the 1990s that kind of the medical community got on board. And then they were really able to start to influence the rest of us who are really impacted by science and research, and we want all the theory and the proof to back stuff up. And well, they have it. It's here. So, hallelujah. That's totally awesome. Essential oils are safe, they're natural, they work quickly, literally experiencing the benefit from the moment you open that bottle of oil. Each essential oil has a unique chemical profile. So what's really awesome about that is that we can specifically choose essential oils to target certain reactions within our bodies. So, we will learn more together about how to choose certain essential oils to get the results that we're looking for. And like I had said at the beginning of the video today, we're focusing on the root chakra. So we're just going to start right down at the bottom, taking it right back to infancy. So the root chakra is the first of the chakras to develop. And that chakra, it starts to develop, like I said, right from infancy. And if you consider the very famous Erik Erikson's stages of development and the fact that trust versus mistrust is the very first stage of development, which hopefully we all have the opportunity to thrive in. But unfortunately, the reality is we don't always have that. So what that can look like is inconsistent responses from your caregivers. So if you think of a parent that's really stressed by anything, life circumstances, death in the family, divorce, substance use or misuse, there's just so many factors that you can't even get into all of them because everybody has stress. And so that might cause a parent to respond sort of inconsistently to their little one. And so right from early years, that can start to develop and sort of manifest within the root chakra, kind of leading that little person not to be totally sure who they can rely on. And, you know, parents have good intentions, they all do. But sometimes we just, ourselves gets in the way. So this is kind of my long-winded way of saying all of us can use work on our root chakra. So even if, bless you, had a wonderful upbringing, super consistent caregivers, really predictable childhood and home and all that stuff, there's still work that can be done in the root chakra. So it's going to benefit everybody. So I encourage you to give it a try. So that is our chakra associated with survival. So like I said, the very first layer of our being that's being developed there, and it's really significant that we take good care of it and we look after it really well. Survival, security, stability, all of those really important pieces of ourselves and who we are and who we're destined to become, that lies within the root chakra. The location is right, I keep going like this, the location is right at the base of our pelvic floor. So if you think of the perineum, right up through the first 3 vertebrae, right up our spine. So just thinking of the base of your spine there, that's where your root chakra is. Literally the place of your body which is contacting on the earth when you're sitting flat. If it's uncomfortable for you to sit flat, by all means elevate those hips and give a little extra support to your spine. The root chakra, the color associated to it is red, the element is earth, which is really fitting, and the sound is lamb. So, Muladhara, pardon me, is the name of the root chakra. So that is the Sanskrit name for the root chakra, but we don't need to know that, because what is cool is that we understand that Mula means root and Adhara means support or base. So it's literally just the support in which we thrive and survive. Thinking of the balancing of the root chakra as laying the foundation of your home. You're not going to build up your home with no foundation, otherwise it's just going to crumble with the first gust of wind. So you're going to lay your foundation, and we all deserve and owe it to ourselves to do that. So thank you for being here and putting yourself first and as a priority. Thank you, that's super cool. So I hope that you have some essential oils here that you can use for your practice today. We're going to move into a short practice that I encourage you to join me in balancing out the root chakra, doing some postures that are really beneficial to balancing out the root chakra. The sense organ that corresponds to the first chakra, the root chakra, is smell. So with that said, let's open up a bottle of oil. I'm going to choose cedarwood this time, and let's just stop and have another deep breath together here. And just one more. Thinking of the root chakra as that chakra that is associated with our fight, flight, or freeze response. Those responses that are built into our nervous system that stem way back to when we were just starting out as human species, and we literally needed to flee or fight for our lives. That is where that system is built and where that system originates. We need that system in us to defend us and protect us when we are faced with real danger. what happens is sometimes our systems get triggered when there's not real danger. That's called anxiety. And, anxiety has many faces and many forms, but the base of the understanding of that is that nervous system, that parasympathetic nervous system is being triggered, and it's wreaking havoc, and it's telling us, like, you gotta get out of here, you gotta fight for your life, you just gotta lay dead, when maybe we don't. Maybe it's something that we can deal with. So again, balancing out that root chakra is going to help you establish, like, literally your feet on the ground. Your feet on the ground, your bottom on the ground, your connection to the core of the earth, which is going to help you be more balanced and help you make decisions that maybe you wouldn't otherwise have the ability to do. You're going to find that when your root chakra is balanced, you're going to notice more contentment, happiness, inner peace. You're going to have more compassion for yourself and for others. So those are awesome. I'm just going to apply my awesome roller here. I encourage you to find your way onto your mat. And let's do a little bit of yoga together and balance out that root chakra. I'm going to go put on some music. So just making your way into a seated position here on your mat, cross-legged, whichever leg falls in front, whatever's comfortable for you. Just really finding a place of comfort here. If you would like, if it's more comfortable for you to have your hips elevated, I welcome you to use a blanket or a block. Just really finding your roots here. So grounding down through your bottom, shuffling around if you need to, perhaps removing the flesh from under your seat, just wiggling around, finding your space. And as you find your space, I'm just going to clear up a mistake there that I made in the first part of the video, where I referred to the parasympathetic nervous system. I referred to that nervous system as the part in our body which flares up the fight, flight, or freeze response. I was wrong, you guys, and I always screw this up. It's actually the sympathetic nervous system which is responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze response. So maybe this will be the last time I get it wrong. For some reason, I doubt it. But just to be totally 100% clear, the parasympathetic nervous system is the part of our autonomic nervous system that is responsible for rest and digest. So when we're operating out of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is where we want to be, you guys, that is gold zone. We're resting, we're digesting, we're responding to things appropriately, we're doing a good job. We're balanced and content. You could say we're balanced in the root chakra if we're operating out of the parasympathetic nervous system most of the time. Okay, so I just wanted to clear that up. I'm really sorry for that mistake. All right, so if you don't have your essential oils handy, that's okay. But if you do, maybe you want to take a moment here to just apply some to your wrist, or perhaps a drop in your palm. Rubbing your hands together here and cupping your hands over your nose and mouth, eyes closed, deep, deep inhale. And a full exhale here. Breathing deeply here and fully exhaling. Just allowing for all of that waste, all of that extra stuff you don't need to just get on out, get gone. One more deep breath here. Noticing what's going on with your shoulders, what's going on with your jaw, just relaxing. Full exhale. And on an inhale here, we're going to make our way into Balasana, or child's pose. So starting off in a tabletop position here with our wrists underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hip bones. I feel like the camera looks blurry. No, it's good. Okay. Sitting. You might want to have your knees wide or together, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to go with wide leg. Putting those toes together, resting your sit bones back on your heels, sending your arms forward, lowering your forehead to the mat. And if your forehead has a hard time reaching the mat here, you're welcome to take a block. If you'd like to place a blanket below the sits bones for a little extra support. Just finding your way into this surrendering posture. Having 3 deep breaths here. And on an inhale, preparing to come out of this posture, moving back up through tabletop, placing any props out of the way. Back up through tabletop here. You're going to have your shoulders over your wrists again, your hips over your knees, toes tucked or flat, whatever's most comfortable. And you're going to invite a deep breath in here as you tip your pelvis forward. Gaze reaches for the sky, chest forward, deep inhale, and on the exhale, puffing that back up, looking through the legs, puffing your shoulders up, exhaling here, and repeating this movement at your own pace, whatever pace feels comfortable for you, stretching through the spine, just increasing movement and fluidity through the spine here. Repeating one more round. And on an exhale, returning to a flat back. And on an inhale here, we're going to tuck our toes and push on up to downward dog. Pedaling out those feet, sending your hip bones to the sky. Elbows are facing one another, head rests between the arms. Maybe you want to shake your head out. No. Shaking your head, yes. And remembering to breathe here. And on an inhale here, lifting the toes to the sky. Exhaling, letting those heels drop. One more time. Exhale, release. And on an inhale, we're going to walk our feet to the front of the mat, having our toes meet our hands, collapsing here, Uttanasana, forward fold, inviting a bend into your knees, allowing your chest to rest on those thighs. Maybe you want to let your arms dangle, maybe you grab your elbows, letting your neck relax, folding here. Feeling that stretch through your back body, through the backs of your legs. Maybe you stand still, maybe you sway side to side, whatever's comfortable for you here.
more deep breath here. And on an exhale, slowly making your way to a standing position, rolling up vertebra by vertebrae
till your shoulders come up and down last, finding yourself in a tall standing position here, mountain pose, Tadasana. Slight bend through the knees, palms forward, relaxing through the shoulders, standing strong. And on an inhale, we're going to raise our arms up to the sky, back bend if you like. And on an exhale, forward fold.
Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway left.
Exhale, fold.
Inhale, halfway left.
Exhale, fold.
Stepping back into your plank pose, lowering through chaturanga here on the exhale.
Inhale your version, upward dog, cobra, or sphinx. And on an exhale, downward dog.
Breathing deeply here, pedaling it out. And on an inhale, making your way to the front of your mat, halfway left. Hands to your shins or hands to the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway left.
Exhale, forward fold.
Inhale,
Reaching up, all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And on an inhale, you're going to step your right foot back into a lunge position. If you'd like to lower your knee, you're welcome to. Otherwise, keeping your leg lifted, heel beaming back, hands to heart center. Breathing deeply here, 3 deep breaths. If you'd like to raise your arms to the sky, you're welcome to. Breathing deeply. Ensuring that your knee is tracking over your ankle here. One more breath here. And on the exhale, spilling forward, sending your left foot back, plank pose, chaturanga, up dog. And on an exhale, sending your legs back, your sits bones to your heels, child's pose. One more breath here. And on an exhale, making your way forward, back into tabletop, tucking those toes and pushing up through downward dog. Hanging out here in your downward dog, breathing deeply. Feeling and enjoying that stretch through your back body. Feeling the strength in those arms, pushing through the pads of each finger. Strengthening and toning through your shoulders, through your legs. And on an inhale, walking those feet to meet those hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And on an inhale, making your way up, reaching up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And on an inhale, this time sending your left leg back into a lunge. Lowering through that right leg. Again, you're welcome to lower your knee if you'd like to, or keeping that left leg lifted, heel beaming back, toes tucked, right knee tracking over right ankle, chest lifted, strong through that back body, strong through that back leg. Breathing deeply here. You're welcome to raise your arms if you'd like. 3 deep breaths. One more deep breath in. And on an exhale, spilling forward, sending that right leg back. Lowering through chaturanga here. Your back bend, inhale here. And exhale back into child's pose, balasana. If you're feeling like your shoulders need a break, you can zip up through the knees, sending those arms behind you, relaxing through the shoulders here. Welcoming this break, humbling yourself here in child's pose, connecting your forehead, that third eye, to the earth beneath you. Maybe you want to give your forehead a little massage, rolling your head back and forth, just enjoying what that feels like, perhaps tapping into that intuition, that imagination, that creativity that's alive within you. Breathing deeply here for 2 more big breaths. One more inhale. And on an exhale, making your way out, back into tabletop. And on an inhale here, pushing back up. Downward dog, exhale. And on an inhale, raising your right leg to the sky, keeping your hips squared, bending through that right knee, and sending that knee forward all the way, stepping through. You're going to have your knee over top of your ankle. You're going to shift your left foot parallel to the back edge of your mat here, windmilling those arms forward, placing them like airplane arms here. You're going to bend through that right knee, ensuring that you can see those 2 toes on your right foot here, sending this left arm back, digging into that knife edge on that left foot with your gaze pointed forward, but your torso pointing towards the left here, or well, my left anyways. You're gonna gaze out over those 2 fingers, standing strong here in your warrior 2. Your fierce warrior. You're gonna be using here your body's natural flow of energy to stimulate your body while standing firmly rooted into the earth here. A very powerful pose. Warrior 2, Virabhajasana 2. Allowing for that inner strength and determination here when the going gets tough. Remembering to breathe. Maybe smile. And on an inhale here, straightening out through that right leg, raising your arms to the sky. We're gonna shift ourselves here so that we're coming into Warrior 2, Virabhajasana 2 on the other side. So I've shifted my legs here so that my right leg is now parallel with the long edge of my mat. My left toes are facing forward. I'm gonna bend through this left knee here, ensuring again that I can see those toes on my left foot. If you need to shuffle around, that's okay. Lowering through those arms. Are your shoulders tense? Lower them down. Your arms are like floating arms. You're just gonna fly away here, and we're gonna settle on into this warrior two, pushing through the knife edge of that right foot. Arms are strong, looking out over that left arm. Fire up through that core. Feel your strength. Remembering to breathe. One more inhale. And on an exhale, raising those arms to the sky, heel toe those legs in just a bit here. We're going to be coming into yogi squat. So you're going to want to have your feet just a little wider than hip distance. You might point your toes out. You're going to find what's comfortable for you as you lower into this squat. So I sort of shuffle as I'm coming down. It's just kind of a thing. I'm just going to grab this here. So another thing is if you need some support for your bum, it can be really nice to rest your bum on a block or a blanket or a pillow, just kind of whatever you need. Feel free to pause, jump up, grab whatever you need, books work, kids' books, whatever you need to get comfortable here into this squat, this malasana here. You might even flow a couple times back and forth, just, centering in. Coming really close here to the earth. Straightening through the back, pushing your chest forward, pushing those elbows into your knees, just to open up a little bit more through the hips. Gaze is forward, crown is lifted, breathing deeply here. Calming your mind and spirit while strengthening through the lower back. Feel through those feet. Make sure you're not dumping all that weight into your toes. So, and at any time, if you need to shuffle around, just do so. If you're feeling like the squat is just aching, I encourage you to take a deep breath, channel down into the earth that you're connected to right now. Your feet are connected to the earth. So just ground in, breathe deeply, and stay with me here for 2 more breaths. And when you've completed your second breath, reach around behind you and gently lower to your seat. Allowing for your legs to generously flop from side to side here. Oh, feels so good. Allowing for a stretch through those hips. Windshield wipering your legs back and forth here. When you've completed what feels right for you, I invite you to lower yourself onto your back here, however you want to. If you just want to fall, that's cool. I'm just going to lower through a sinking boat here, so grabbing onto my knees here, lifting through the chest, tightening through the back. Shoulders are relaxed, and I'm slowly going to fall as slowly as I can until I just collapse. Keeping those arms straight, rolling, thinking about rolling each vertebrae
one by one, onto the mat, tightening through that core, engaging, strengthening through your stomach, and when you land, just fall nicely. Oh, feels so good. All right, so we're gonna bend through the knees here. We're gonna walk those feet right up until your fingers are just touching your heels here. And on an inhale, you're gonna roll through your spine, lifting up, ensuring that your knees are staying parallel, lifting up through your back body, squeezing here through the legs, engaging through your legs, strengthening through your back, and squeezing out any excess root chakra energy here in your bridge pose, breathing deeply. One more inhale. And on your exhale, rolling slowly back down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra, really feeling your back, reconnecting with the earth beneath you. And on an inhale, bringing those knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, gently rocking back and forth, massaging through that back body. On an inhale, squeeze and giving yourself a big, big hug, lifting up through your head, squeezing in, squeezing, squeezing, relaxing through the shoulders. And on an exhale, release. You're going to lower yourself completely to the mat here, just surrendering to the earth, feeling, noticing all of the parts of your body that are touching, that are connecting with the earth. All the points throughout your body, and I take up as much space as you need to. Move stuff out of the way. Just get cozy. I like to do the starfish, spreading out. Breathing deeply here, surrendering, allowing your body and your mind to fall open simultaneously. Allowing yourself to transition from the act of doing to the act of being. Feeling that calm. Just allowing your breath to come naturally, to flow freely from you. And if you'd like to stay in Shavasana for the rest of the day, then I welcome you to, or for as long as you like. But for those of you that are feeling ready to come out, I invite you to wiggle a bit through your toes and fingers, slowly waking up your body. Maybe you roll your neck back and forth. And when you're ready, rolling onto either your left or your right side, finding yourself in a fetal position here. Just resting, just for a couple breaths. Feel the support of your body. When you're ready, pushing whichever arm is on top into the earth, coming back up into a seated position. Maybe you'd like your prop or block underneath your back again, maybe not. Just coming into a comfortable seat. You might allow your hands to rest on your knees. Maybe you want to bring your hands into prayer position, which is what I'm going to choose to do to end our practice here today. Let's just squeeze our shoulders up here on an inhale, and on an exhale, dropping them down and just noticing that. Just allowing for an extra bit of ease here as we end our practice together. You have just given your root chakra the most amazing gift, and thank you. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to repeat, or I'm going to say something here, and I encourage you to repeat this within yourself or out loud. From wherever you are, from me to you, I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. Bringing your hands to your third eye, I am a divine being of light. I am peaceful, protected, and secure. Lowering your hands to your lips and to your heart space. Namaste, my friends. The light in me honors and respects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.